I have to say I do.
What are you putting me on this time of morning? You're going to scare everyone.
It was a cassette. You know when you had to push the pencil in between into the hole? Yes, man. I did it.
I feel like when you are speaking up for yourself, it should be unapologetic and it should be honest. I think that we all.
So, for example, the West Indian community, there are many reasons why they may not, and you can probably tell me more than I know. But I think part of it is that they're being asked to trust the same structures that have also contributed to their discrimination, their abuse, their trauma, and their marginalisation over the years. And
this is acceptable. You can't dress like this in a Muslim society. So then who's got more respect for women? The West or the East?
But in Ubuntu, we have programs that kind of look at identity, raising self-esteem, looking at our history, looking at going not only...
Often when you watch the news and stuff, everyone's talking about race. And I'm just thinking, well, there's more than that. I know just having no dad and having to work out what it means to be a black man in the UK was a very, very difficult job.
You're on your second coffee and fact. Oh my God, listen, girl. I haven't even had a coffee. The thing is, if it wasn't for my daughter, I sent her a long text last night. But if it wasn't for my daughter, I think I would have still been asleep. If she's saying hi, that means that 8:15 is gone. Morning, peeps. Morning. How you doing, Aston? You good, bruv? Are we getting you? Okay, because you're very low. You're very low. You're very, very low. You're very low. Okay, I know. It's me, you know, ladies. What it is that I woke up with the head of Saturday on. I did.
Typical.
Yeah, I know. I honestly woke up. I mean, I did my meds this morning, Coach Astrid.
Good.
I caught hold of it.
Good.
Yeah. But despite that fact, I was still sitting here thinking it's Saturday morning.
Oh, wow. Maybe I should have reminded you then, because I got all set up from last night.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I set up from last night for this morning.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, ladies are always prepared, aren't they, Aston? Yeah.
Woo!
Looks like we're
We think that we're running things like, oh man, that don't work.
no, women are running things. It's still a bit low, sir. It's still way low, way low. So I'm not sure what the connection issue might be. Yeah. No, we can't dismiss it, unfortunately, because otherwise to that it's just pure sign language. We have to go with yourself.
Come on, Aston, sort it out.
And
Sort it out.
that won't work. So shall I take you out and then bring you back in? Yeah. Oh God, that's
I tell you what, it is just like that now, though. It is, everything is a blur. The days are just blurring one into the next.
Yes. I'm actually starting to feel that way myself now, to be honest with you. It's getting frustrating. The whole lockdown thing is now getting frustrating. As much as I don't know how you guys are coping with it actually.
I'm coping all right, actually. Sorry, Astrid.
That's right.
You know, I'm kind of used to the setup. So hubby and I are not doing anything that we don't normally do. We kind of live in solitude anyway. You know, we're in Devon, so we don't see that many people anyway. But it's the mental imprisonment, I think, more so than seeing people. Now, like you said, it's just dragging on, and hearing the stories from close family. That's the bit that hurts me. You know, that everybody is really struggling around it now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the struggle or the difficulty that a lot of people are having is the fact that they're losing loved ones. Yeah, and it's everything.
And I can't spend time with them before.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah. How are we doing now, Aston?
I'm hoping that's a lot better.
That is a bit better.
Okay then. Okay.
It's a bit better, to be honest with you.
Let's run with that then today.
Yes, yes. Can you switch the backdrop? Have you got time to do that?
I got it. They're all gone. Every
Are
time
you for real?
I sign in, my backdrops go.
Is it?
Yeah.
So if I quickly send it to you, are you going to be okay with just?
I can add it.
Yeah, because then we'll do that. Yeah. I think that the sad thing is that a lot of people are losing loved ones around this time, and as we know, it's all associated with the coronavirus. But I don't know what your thoughts are, because a lot of quite a few of them are of older age. And you know, it becomes questionable in terms of was it their time?
Yeah. Because I had an uncle pass away about 2-3 weeks ago, and we celebrated 2 years ago. We celebrated his 80th birthday, so you know he was getting on in age. So for me, it's more like it was his time rather than the coronavirus.
Okay.
But everyone would have you believe it was the coronavirus rather than his age.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because what you said actually makes sense to me, and that's why I'm trying to have an open mind instead of just going, well, this is what you think, Rudi, so that's how it is. You get what I mean? And that's why I'm kind of like opening it up in a sense. You know, I don't know what you think, Tash. Do you think it is?
Yeah, I think, you know, the general consensus is that, you know, they're making numbers up to make it what they want it to be. So we know about fake news and all of that. I think what you touched on, Astrid, is so true. Definitely. I know a lot of people in general, not that have died, and I'm sorry for all the losses that we have had, but that are actually in connection inside hospitals and stuff. And, you know, their news is that no matter what people are coming in with, it is getting marked down as COVID related, no matter what.
Exactly. And part of it is you're not allowed to do an autopsy.
That's right.
That's not apparently.
It's true.
Coach.
It is true. Okay, fine.
Yes, that's not apparently. I mean, I think that we saw that right at the beginning of lockdown when initially we were told that we were going to get locked down and people started passing away. It was right from day dot there were no autopsies, and I think that is where suspicion started to raise its head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're passing laws on it, and you know the fact that now it only takes one person to doctor-wise to actually notify people that there is a death, you know, whereas before you needed to have a witness. So I mean, you've got to look behind why the laws are being bypassed and changed in relation to this, and it's literally so there's no liability in my eyes, you know. So it's a topic of great interest. Crazy stuff.
Because
was it in France though that they decided to go against not doing an autopsy, and they did do an autopsy, and
that was Italy.
Italy, okay, and it wasn't COVID related, even though it was documented as COVID related.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Morning, Mummy T. Sorry, morning, JD, baby loves. I see you all.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, quite a few people who are actually popping in and saying good morning. I mean, there's Jonathan.
Jonathan, hi.
Hi, I'm here. I'm here. The little puppy dog.
That's our love child. That's my baby love right there.
Morning, Christine.
Okay. How are we doing now, Aston?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's better.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
So we're all dressed in royal colours.
In it.
In
it.
In
it. So, I mean, David Harris is saying COVID has no age, as I lost a young friend to it. And also, I have lost my uncle to it. But people are supposedly mixing COVID-19 patients with non-COVID patient 19 patients.
Yeah.
That's, you see, that's, you know.
Everyone that I know who's been to the hospital recently with non-related COVID, they've all been tested as they should be, and they've all become diagnosed as having COVID.
Positive.
One way or another, yeah. One way or another.
And that's whether they have symptoms or not.
That's right. And the outcome of that, what I've seen and I've heard, right, is that the service, what they're providing for them now, whereas before, you know, they would give a full service of care, right? Now it seems that they're just doing the minimal, and literally keeping them in there the minimal amount of time as well, saying that they need the beds, right?
Yeah.
The last case that I've heard, and this was only a few days ago, right, was that a person went in of a senior age, and unfortunately she needed to have a pacemaker, and literally 2 days later they were asking for her to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah. I mean, I know of Tina and her mum. She's a member of the Rants and Bants, and her mum was ill, and they were refusing to give her any medication and all of that. You know, she's had a big war with them about it. It's like they are trying to do the minimum. I mean, my wife works for the NHS.
Okay, so what's your insight on it then?
Well, the insight that she's pointed out is that there are wards that are filled with COVID patients with COVID-related issues. So in terms of the NHS being overrun or not, the fact is they are, but they always were, from what she said. What I found strange was that they set up all of these places where COVID victims were meant to go to.
Nightingale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, well, why aren't you using those places?
Exactly.
So as to separate those with one illness, whether it be liver, heart, lungs, you know, all the major arteries and that. And why haven't you put them into those places? And then what's happened to that?
Exactly. I mean, I share that thought, because before you said it, and even as we started this conversation, I was saying that, you know, I'm all for the isolation because of this thing, right? Yes, you've got many of our people in our community who's out there saying, "Oh, it's a fake," and boy, it's a government out to kill us off and everything else. Look, for whatever reason, it's out there. It's out there, right? We've got to combat it in any way that we can. Isolation at this stage seems to be the most effective way of actually not allowing this thing to spread. I've stated it before, right? That I feel that there should be a compulsory testing of everybody. There should be a compulsory testing, and if it comes to the case, the decision to actually isolate, then I feel that it needs to be isolated, but not within a home environment, but within a controlled environment.
I understand that, but wasn't there tests that were being done and people who didn't actually take the test just put the swabs back in, and they were coming back positive?
But that's when you leave. That's when you leave it to the people themselves to do.
Right.
You understand?
But why is it coming back positive? That was my thing. But then the other point was also was that you mentioned us isolating, but earlier on we were talking about the frustration of being isolated.
Yes.
Right, and that feeling of because literally yesterday I was just fed up, literally just fed up. Right.
It's the mental health issues that really stand out to me now. You know, I mean, people are dying every day. I get that. But like you said, Rudi, people have been dying. You know, when you just look at the general facts in regards to how many people just die of flu or, you know, underlying related causes to, you know, all different types of diseases and stuff. The numbers, it just doesn't add up. And I understand what you're saying, but for me, and I appreciate everybody has a point of view, but for me, I'm a skeptic. So I believe that there is a hidden agenda. So this is how I put it to my family and the people around me. Forget all of the in-betweens. When you highlight really what they're trying to do, the hidden agenda, it's not even hidden anymore. All of this in-between stuff, there's no surprises. You know, so when you're talking about testing, theoretically, that would be a logical way to get a grip on this, you know, but the testing is rigged. When you look at the evidence, you know, and how the testing is actually set up, you know, it's all rigged. So when you look at all of the in-betweens, there's no surprises to me. I wish they would just say, you know what, we want to vaccinate everybody, full stop, you know, and we could cut out all of this in-between stuff. Because the mental health issues, this is where the suicide rates are going up. You know, people are at home, you know, going stir crazy. You know, the kids, the mental imprisonment of kids, you know, who are supposed to be. Yeah, it's true. These kids are imprisoned in their own minds.
My thing is about the parents with the children.
No, I'm going mad. Mate.
That as well. I mean, listen, we live in the countryside, fresh air and whatnot. The other day, my partner and I, we were watching the kids across the street, and they were literally banging their heads against the fence, and we were like, hold on a minute, like you know, like when a monkey gets frustrated, and that is their trait, that when they're frustrated or they're,
and when you see always,
you know, that is their outlet. The kids,
animals in a cage just going round and round, and you see that manic behavior.
It sounds funny, but you know, we witnessed it and we were like, oh my God, you know, what is going on here? It's a real hard one, because when you think about the technology that we have today, the hindsight that we have, because we know about diseases, this isn't the first disease or you know, virus that's been out here. We know that strains are going to come and variants. So it's funny to me how they're trying to fool up the public as if this is something brand new and we don't know about it. If
but
they really wanted to,
but check out what's quite contradictory though.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Yes.
And it's like, whoa. What quad?
I remember when that came out.
Yeah, you remember when it came out and it was like false news,
fake news,
fact check, fake check. You know.
And she's not qualified, and she's going to lose her qualifications and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
They extremely just rubbished her statements
Yeah, exactly.
straight away. And unfortunately, it's turned out to bite them in their ass now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, the technology that we have today, if we wanted to put a cap on this, if we really wanted to help ourselves, we could have done this a long time ago. You know, lockdown could have been done in a way that, you know, certain people were locked down and other people were still let out to go to work, and the economy wouldn't have been broken down. There's so many other ways that this could have been done, you know, and like they're saying now, you know, you've got borders open but schools closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got school closed, right? You got MPs who are hiding. You know, you want to send the children. You're thinking about sending the children back to school, but at the same time, you're not sending back the MPs. I'm like, the kids became the front line. I couldn't believe that.
That's the testing ground, isn't it?
Yeah, David Harris is actually saying suicide is on the up and jobs are low.
Yeah.
So I am worried about it. We should have locked the borders from early.
Long time. You know what I'm very proud of, right? Is the way how the Caribbean just said, you know what, we're going to close the doors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And their results have been tremendous.
Yes.
Right?
They have.
I've always felt that for something like this to actually run its course, I was hoping it would be like 6 months, right? Up to now would have been the outside, you know, like February, March would have been the outside of my thoughts.
Right.
Right now, I feel that if it's going to continue like how it has been doing, right, we've got to do another year.
Well, they were talking 2022 anyway. They're talking 2022 anyway. You know, I mean, right about now, I mean, what I've seen or what I've read, to be honest, earlier on this morning, is that they're actually thinking about letting people slowly come out of lockdown and start socializing. And I think one of the reasons for that is that they can't tie everybody down. Once we go into spring and everybody starts seeing daylight outside,
they're coming out anyway.
They're coming out.
Exactly.
If that is the case, they should be like, for instance, we have a large population in London, Manchester, Birmingham, and Ipswich, other cities. They shouldn't be interchanging. If it's not necessary, they shouldn't be interchanging. And even if it takes to the point of that, you need a pass to actually go from one area to the other area, right? I feel that is going to be necessary as well, because we've got to get hold of this thing, and we've got to be responsible for ourselves in this. So instead of us like, all right, then if you want to go out and you need to go out, yes, go out, but be sensible with it as well.
I hear what you're saying, but I think we have been sensible. I think we, the public, have been very sensible. You know, from the beginning, when they said do this, they, you know, being the government, the people who rule, who govern over us, you know, we've done that. We have done that. You know, but it's the people of power who have switched from one action to another and literally seesawed. You can go out, now you can't go out. You know what, we're going to give you Christmas, no, but now look what Christmas has done. There's been no hindsight. Or on the other extreme, they know exactly what's going on, you know, and we are just the guinea pigs.
But they're just keeping it going.
Well, this is the thing is that Jack is saying, if I'm honest, I held a meds on this the other day. Meds, what do you think that stands for? The other day, and realized my mental health really had suffered. Lockdown coupled with a stressful, I guess, situation or time, because I mean, Astrid, you deal with stress in many a different way. I mean, the first thing that you do is the meditation.
Yes, I do, and I do that every morning. And that not only am I sort of looking to help other people, but I'm looking to help myself as well, because I normally my morning routine would be to start off with meditation in the morning, just to calm my head, just have a calm and just relaxed start to the day, so that I can then focus on what it is I want to do. And anything that comes at me, it's like, bring it on, I can deal with it. But it's now getting to the stage where I can't do the other things that I want to do, because normally I would do that. I teach exercise as well, and the two combined work really, really well. So it's getting slightly more challenging for me in that I can't do the exercise as I would like. I can't teach my classes. I do some classes online, but at the same time, I'm kind of balancing that with my dad, who's on his own, who's like walking distance from where I live, and having to make sure that he's okay as well. So I think once I'm thinking about how I can help other people, that makes the difference for me, if that makes sense. I'm not getting myself into such a stressful kind of situation in that I've got other things that I'm doing, and provided it's outside of me, if that makes sense. If I'm helping somebody else, then I'm not stressing myself.
You're not focused on you,
exactly.
which is
I'm
true.
So if
I
you
guess
focus
that's
on,
I guess that would help a lot of people if they thought about things they can do outside of themselves. But it forces you back to the screen, doesn't it?
Yes,
because we're not allowed to have this connection. But Tony Warner says something very interesting. He says that from once a pass is issued to travel from one area to another, they will quickly only allow people who have been vaccinated to freely travel.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
They want everyone to be vaccinated. It's as simple as that.
I could see where Tony's coming from with that, right? But in many ways, you have to tighten it to actually control this thing, right? Because as we saw, as with this new wave, what they reported, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say what they reported, because every week there's a new strain, right? And that creates more fear as well.
Exactly.
And if we're gonna talk about, I know we're talking about the macro, looking at it from a macro and a micro, but then when we go macro, when you start talking about words like controlling people, instilling fear in people, if we're going to talk about why are there no funerals, why are there no autopsies, not funerals, sorry, then you start to question everything.
Absolutely. Can I just go back to something that Astrid said, because that is such an important message, just to try and substitute some of the mainstream negativity, because that's all it is. Because when you think about it, if it was really on a level that let's help the public, they would be talking more about mental health issues. They would be talking more about how we can combat what's going on with food, good food, and what we're putting inside of us, our mental state of mind. So when you're talking about the power of positive thinking and abundance, and replacing that with what is going on screen, it's an important message, because out there, people, you have to tune in and tap into a subconscious level that dictates that this is okay and we can get through this, instead of every day seeing, when you're talking about the news now, they have gone so low to the point where now they're dramatizing like it was EastEnders, the hospitals.
The news stories that you're picking up now is like babies are dying. A child of 7 just died the other day. The numbers have gone to 991 people have died. So it's all, it's stuff that has to be reported. But it all leads to fear, and it all leads to I guess I would use the word compliance, because when I go straight back to the macro, that's what I see is in play here. But then David does say, come on now, what happened with help out to eat out? Spread the virus like wildfire. We need to be a bit more sensible. I think it's time we dance a yard before we dance abroad, as Father would say. Love them kind of lyrics there. I love those kind of lyrics. So,
but as Aston was saying, just like how some of these other countries, if you take an example of Barbados, Barbados have been tight with how they've run things. They don't have it out there.
That's right.
Because they've locked down absolutely everything, and you cannot go into the country unless you've been tested. The test is negative. You have a second test. The second test is negative before you can actually properly enter the country.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they don't have it out there.
That's right. Even to visit the beaches, it's not everybody. It's not everybody can go. If your name of a certain letter, you can go 1 week, and then the next week is another letter. as well.
Exactly.
You
Even
understand?
for the shopping, you have
Even for
to.
shopping.
It's only like when it's your surname of A to G or something like that.
That's right.
Then you get. That's when you go shopping, so they
That's
know
right.
who is where at any given time.
That's right.
And so therefore, it runs properly, and they don't have it out there.
Exactly. But
It's
I mean,
And this is what I'm echoing. If we really wanted to lock it down, we could use other measures like that as an example. People taking it seriously.
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen that with when I was in Brazil, right? That the for the pollution, because the pollution was extremely high in Sao Paulo when I was there.
Okay.
What they had implemented was that if your vehicle was of a certain age, right, or the registration ended with a certain letter, you couldn't drive before like midday, you know. And in doing that, they cut down the congestion of the pollution by a third within a month.
A month.
Yeah, within a month. You understand? I don't know if they're still using that method at this time, but I know that, you know, like when the traffic was very heavy there, you could be in there for 3 to 4 hours in a traffic jam in Sao Paulo. You know, Jackie Williams has a thing that she says apologies for lockdown couples. Yeah, there you go. Lockdown couples with a stressful job, home working, homeschooling, not seeing my mother for a year. I'm really sorry about that. It's a lot, but meditation has helped. So you know, it's listen. I do meditation on a regular, right? And it's not a case of that you're going to be there, sat there for hours or anything like that. Even if you just say, you know what, let me just do a check-in on my body, how I feel about myself. You understand? Just to say, you know, what's easing and what's hurting or tight or anything like that. Because a lot of our ailments are due to our tightness of our body, stress,
Lifestyle. It's lifestyle, isn't it?
Yes, as well, right? So even to do that alone, right, is kind of like a medicine, a self massage in that way there, because
It's like you said, it's checking in with yourself. It's going deep within. I mean, a lot of people don't take that time. Even, I mean, sometimes I'll be honest with you. Sometimes
it only takes 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the morning. You know what I mean? A lot of us are familiar with the say your prayers at night. Right? You could do the same with the meditation. You understand? All you're doing is that you're praying to yourself.
Yeah, it's just that we associated it with the
That's right.
and you're like, that ain't for me. You know what I mean?
That's again how it's been manufactured. You know, the goodness for us is always manufactured in a comical way, or you know how it goes. You know, when actually, that's right. You know, tune into all these things. There are so many 21-day challenges. We've just done one 30-day exercise challenges. A lot of people have got a lot of stuff going on, and the support within those little group bubbles as well is immense. So you know, we're laughing and we're joking about it, but it's not joke business. You know, you've really got to tap in, because otherwise it's just, it breaks you down, it grinds you down.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing is that this is one of the good things about what's happened right now. Everybody has realized their true value. They've had the time to actually think and say, you know what? Do I really need what I'm doing? Is this job really a job that is benefiting me? You understand? And I think that once they release the chains, there's going to be a massive change around here.
I think there's a massive change anyway. I think they've changed the whole work pattern, the way that people used to think of work. But the knock-on effect is tremendous. I mean, the big businesses have realized now that why do we have these big offices when we could have people at home?
Exactly.
Doing these jobs. The knock-on effect to that is the small little retailers that used to supply somebody with their newspaper when they walked past their shop, or they bought a sandwich, or those small little coffee bars. You know, all of those people get hit. Transportation gets hit. You know, and they're going to try and claw back the money that they feel that they've lost. I mean, the big shocker that's come out this morning is that utility bills will be going up from April. Yeah, gas bills are going up from April. You know,
No surprise.
I mean, that's a regular on a that's a regular, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Again, going back to what I was saying, whereby when you think of the end result and what they're trying to achieve, I know me saying they, but it's true, what they are trying to achieve, it's no surprise. You know, they'll lock everybody down and then they'll start to grind you down by minimizing the reserves that you have, hitting things like food, gas, electricity, so that they will be able to control the masses. That's all it is. When you think about it, it's almost as if they're trying to get rid of money in a certain way. You know,
money's on its way out. No,
yes.
Cash.
Yes, yeah. Everything's on plastic now and scanning, and you know, you only need a card. You don't need nothing else.
You need your phone, darling.
I won't put it on my phone. Sorry.
You know what, Astrid? You're not the only one. You're not the only one. I remember going into Kentucky
we're not of that generation. We're not of that
I remember about 2 years ago going into Kentucky. It was Kentucky I was going, or should I say Kentucky, right? At the time I was going into. And I see this youth pull out their phone and pay on the boop.
Pay on
off the phone, and I'm like, rah, we had to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But for the younger generation, that's what they're just born into. This is normal. I guess like for some people, shilling and pence didn't exist, so pence is normal.
Careful, you're starting to talk a different language now. You know.
Is it? Am I leaving you behind, Aston? Sorry, I didn't.
No. I know about that, but I'm thinking of the audience. You know.
No, man. What do you mean? Them not know about the Throckney bit. Who remembers the Throckney bit? The Throckney bit. Where it had the 50 pence was the only thing that had the Pentagon shape.
That's right.
Oh wow.
You know what's nice though, guys, when we're talking about going back a little bit, you know, I'm seeing people start to barter more, you know, like services for services instead of all about the green. You know, that's a nice thing, because I'm all for one for we're going ahead too fast. You know, I like to be in other countries, you know, I lived in Mexico for 10 years where it's all laid back, West Indies, Caribbean, you know, it's all laid back and it's less monetary value and more about the old school bartering, you know, let's do
the real value
in return for this. I love that.
The real value.
Was
it 6 pence? Wasn't that the 2.5 pence? That's right. That was you see how you quick off the mark there, Astrid.
Listen.
The planting's got out, Jackie says.
Yeah.
There's people who know about pounds and £5, £10. I know about coins then, because that's my standard of what I was at. So
okay.
You remember the penny piece?
The halfpenny,
The halfpenny.
Yeah, halfpenny. And
I was just about to say the halfpenny.
Not that far back.
You know, shut up.
No. What was the smallest one that was
2.5 pence was the smallest I saw.
No. There was one before that.
I remember when the bus fare was 2p to get.
Was it the farthing?
The farthing was well before my time. That
was well before my time.
That was I remember reading about it.
Halfpenny. That's it. Halfpenny.
Didn't we mention halfpenny?
Yeah,
we mentioned halfpenny, but the farthing that was like that was Dickens' time.
You lost me now, guys. You lost me.
Yeah.
But you know what, Astrid? I do remember being on the bus when it was, I think it was 2 pence or 5 pence. But my mum saying
it went up from 2p to 5p. Yes.
Yeah, and my mum saying if anybody asks, you're under 5, because I think under 5 was free.
Yes.
And I was a big old girl, you know, but I was still under 5.
Yeah. See, I could get away with that because I was like 5 foot nothing under. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So everyone, no one used to challenge my age. The only time my age got challenged was when I went into a bar, and I always used to have to take my driver's license with me because I didn't look my age.
Lord of mercy, innit? And all the men are frightened in case they get called a paedophile. She's approachable, man. She's approachable. Don't approach her, man. Don't approach her. You never know what's going to happen. But she look nice, man. Yeah, I'm about GLB. I'm GLB. You know what I mean? I remember when Mum used to like when we used to get on the bus and she would
Yeah.
put you to sit on top of your sibling. Remember them days as well. You'd have to sit on top of your sibling, and if you're not, and the thing is, if you didn't cock in your leg properly, the bus conductor used to have this machine that could clonk you on the side of your head. Remember that bit? We used to turn it?
Yes, I remember that.
I mean, that was the mechanical era, man. That's when everything was like mechanical. Whereas, like you said, we've shifted over to an electronic system now. Everything's about electronics, and everything's getting smaller. Everything's.
You can't even get on a bus now with cash. It has to be a card.
Yeah.
It has to be a card, and it's been like that for years now.
The Oyster.
Yeah.
Yes. Either the Oyster or your phone now,
or your debit,
or your debit card.
That's right.
Yeah. I think the record. Sorry, go on.
I recall an article a few weeks ago now that they were saying that the transport system is broke. It's broke now because of obviously the lack of passengers what they've had on there. That it really is going into is near on the brink of receivership, going into receivership.
Yeah, but it's not surprising. It wasn't gonna say. I mean, lockdown. I mean, we can't get away from it, unfortunately, even though we did try to shift the conversation. But lockdown has brought quite a few industries to a halt. Because that's what I'm saying. There's all the subsidiaries one has to consider when you do send all these people home. And they are working from home and they're not traveling and they're not told that they could go out on the street. I mean, and as I come back to what Tasha said, that people are taking it seriously, because when I go out on the road now, the traffic is minimal in comparison to what it used to be. But the benefits of that is the environment can breathe.
Yeah, Mother Nature's healing. You know, and again, it depends on the areas, because it was weird because, you know, like I said, we're in Devon, but we came down to London a little while ago, and in certain areas, so you've got like the city and, you know, West London, that was dead. But when you're coming back into the urbans, it was like it was a normal everyday Saturday, you know. So you've got the people who, you've got people who can afford to stay at home, you know, and then you're coming back to the people, you know, on pavement level that, you know what, we just got to go about our daily business, corona or not, because this is how we live. You know, if we haven't got the money to be staying at home, you know, we've got to put food on the table.
I have to say, I've been like you. I've been like where I live, but right by a tube station. And that place is busy, like nothing's going on. So there are still loads of people just going, like you say, going about their daily business.
No choice.
Nothing going on because they haven't got a choice. Exactly. So, you know, you see a lot of people kind of putting a mask on their face because there's so many people around and you can't keep that 2 meter distance and all the rest of it. And then they go about their business and then go, and the buses are still packed. Well, not packed because the bus drivers only allow a certain amount of people on, and they do check the numbers. You only have one person per seat by the window. You can only sit next to somebody if those you two are in your bubble.
In the bubble.
Not that the bus driver can check, but the two of you sit together if you're in your bubble. So a bus can be seen to be full, but it's not. It's only half full compared to how it used to be.
So that's why they're running at a loss. That's why they started to run at a loss, which is quite surprising when you consider the amount of profits that they have made over the centuries.
Yes,
and you question, you know, where did the money go?
That's why they're putting up the gas and the electric, mate, to make up for the transport.
But the thing is that even though if you compare it to the rest of Europe, right, or where we used to be in,
the EU.
The EU.
The EU.
Funny
So
how this all happened now that we've come out of the EU, but that's another story.
But what the price comparison of the transportation over here in the UK is far more than what it is in Europe, right? And the thing is that they're in Europe, they're not as populated in many of the cities as what they are in the cities over here. Understand? So obviously, you know, somebody's making a good change out of this. You know?
Of course. They're definitely making good change out of this. I mean, you know,
I saw this.
yeah. I mean, you talk about people making change, yeah, and
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah,
you know,
Just sums it all up.
exactly.
because once again, it's like, you know, everything that's associated with just getting that vaccine, the plastics that's involved in that, the distribution that's involved in that, the packaging that's involved in that. You know, these people that you call they, Natasha, are making a billions,
That's the agenda. That's the
billions.
agenda. I'll tell you what's really harming some people as well. For example, my partner's JD, his mum and dad, they've just had their first shot. And when they had, not just, but, you know, a month or whatever ago it was, and the information that they were given in regards to you're going to have your first shot, and then for it to be effective, you're going to have your second shot on a certain date. Now, before that date even came and went, they flipped it completely and said, you know what, we can't do it then, you're going to have it 3 months later, which means that in effect, your first shot is irrelevant. You know, it's almost like everybody are human guinea pigs to what's going on, and nobody's clocking on. Hold on a minute, you gave us this information in the beginning, we went ahead and did, like everybody's on lockdown, like you told us to, we went ahead and we put this in our bodies, and now you're switching, you're moving the goalposts. You know, so how are you expected to even be able to believe in this system, you know, when the rules change?
For me, this is a big enrollment program of volunteers stepping forward to tell us what the effects are going to be in the next 10 years. That's why I did say, and I'll maintain that I won't be taking a shot for at least 5 years.
I won't be taking it at all.
You know, that's the only time I would actually personally consider taking it.
Once
Because
you see what the outcomes are of actually doing that, because normally with most other things, how long does it take to test before it comes out and all the rest of it? And this has been done in a reasonably short space of time.
But guys, the evidence is already there. This is what I'm saying. Look at the thalidomide era. You know,
exactly.
Look at all the other eras. You know, this isn't new stuff. You know, the evidence is already there.
Go on, Aston. Why are you shaking?
Go on, because it's interesting to have different people's opinions. I mean,
the thing is, it's like anything that develops like this, right? It's obviously it's not a natural thing. That's what's happened here. It is a chemical, man-made, right? But it's a chemical accident that's happened.
Did you say accident? This has been in the making since 2014 from some of the stuff that I've read.
I'm giving them a little way, a little bit of leeway. Before
they don't deserve it. Don't deserve it.
Lives are being lost, bruv.
But the thing is, right, is that when they're saying that they want to find a solution, we've had many offers and evidence of things that we can utilize which are natural, and they're just totally dismissing it in every way they can, right? Until they and of course we know, because it's just like the weed, right? Until they can monetize it and they can profit from it and put it beyond the average person to actually benefit from it, right? That is what they will do. You understand? But I still feel it is up to us, right? Who are that way inclined. I'm not going to say everybody is, because some people just like, say, no, the doctors know, the scientists know what they're doing and everything, right? I'm not here to argue that point. But those who wish to go the natural route should be allowed to do that, and they should be looking equally to distribute
such information.
Those information.
And that's what I'm saying.
And those herbs and remedies out there as well. Because if you got some place over there and they said, yes, this is the cure, okay, where's your evidence? here, look at all of these people, we've cured them already.
Right.
They're not even saying that over here. They're not even saying how many.
No, they're
how
just
many
locking
people
that
they're
down. They
cured.
lock that down. They lock that down straight away. The moment any kind of information like that comes out, they lock it down. I mean, I've been kicked off the platform many a time initially for putting up such information. You know, it's like if the bigger organizations are not in control of it or not making any stimulus or any money from it, you know, it's like it serves no purpose. You know?
Yeah, I agree with what David has just said as well. I mean, you know, there's so many cures that we could be, you know, trying to. Medicine isn't a cure. Medicine is purely to keep you maintain the illness so that they can keep pumping money into their own pockets. You know.
That's right. Get you back to work so you can earn money for us.
Yeah, we've all come from our history is about using natural remedies to fix our bodies.
Right.
So we, you know, we should be going back to that.
I agree.
We're not there already, because that is what is going to help us. You know, we all say about ginger and garlic and all of those kinds of things, but
well, there was a, you know what, Astrid, there was actually a nurse who works in with older people, yeah, who actually put out a post about using the garlic, yeah, not peeling it but scraping it,
yeah,
then grating it, yeah, onion, lemon. Was it garlic? Did she mention garlic? I can't remember. But she,
I think some honey as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she chopped it all down and she boiled it. Yeah, and then she suggested that you steam. Yeah, and then that you drink the juice 3 times a day.
Okay.
And in her home, she says that she's cured all of the elderly who were in there, or at least it helped them. Okay. Yeah, because they were inhaling it and it was going through their respiratory system. So, they were drinking it, so it was flowing through their veins, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
That post didn't last like not even 7 minutes.
What a surprise!
Not even 7 minutes did that post last.
You could go down the high street and get all your stuff for a $5.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And when you think about it, these same pharmaceutical giants would go over to Africa and the Caribbean, study what the voodoo man and the witch doctor, so them say what they do. You get me?
And imitate it through chemicals.
Imitate it and then try and synthesize it, because you cannot make money from nature. You can only make money from something that man has manufactured. I mean, I've said it several times and I have to repeat it for people to sort of like see or begin to understand I would say my point of view, as opposed to say it's the right thing. You know what I mean? Because everything is open to opinion.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree, Rudi. And coming back to, I know it sounds awful, but the minute we recognize and realize that they don't give a shit about us, excuse my good French, the easier it's going to be. You know, nothing has changed. Nothing is going to change, you know, because it's systematic, and you can put whatever puppets in front of us, you know, like the Bidens and, you know, the Patels and all of that. And it's just a quick fix. You know, nothing will change. It's the system that has been the foundations of the systems that have been put there for centuries, generations, you know, and us faffing around and you know, the inauguration was great and it was all inclusive and it's great. It brought me hope. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to change, because it's the systematic changes that we really need to address. Look at, what's his name? Trump, Orange Man. You know, how is it possible that he's done all of what he's done?
Exactly.
Right, because the system is protecting him. Clear as day. Clear as day. You know, nothing's going to change. It's like you said, it's us that has to make the changes, which is happening. The shifts are happening. We're connecting the dots. It's a beautiful thing, but it's just a shame that
it took someone like Trump to actually bring that out.
You know, I've got a friend in the States. Sorry to cut you in. I've got a friend in the States, and she said to me, white lady, she said, we were so surprised to know that 140 members of government were white supremacists. What? And I said, where's the surprise? I said, when you think of the National Frontists, the skinheads and all of that, what do you think? They just disappeared into air? No, they're all dissolved into the system. Where's the surprise? Nobody has disappeared, blacks nor whites or anything in between. They're still all here. You know, these people, it was a shock to her. You know, I said, listen, I know it sounds bad, but you know the consensus from my people, so to speak, and she's a very close friend of mine, you know. I said, it's almost as if we're saying, welcome to our world, bitches.
No, we are saying that. We are saying that. But then the thing is that everything moved from race to class. Do you know what I mean? And then everyone got bundled together, but they still segmented us by turning race against one another.
Right,
you know what I mean?
diversions.
I mean, before it was all about, oh, you can't wear the mask. Do you know what I mean? In France, you know what I mean? They were telling women they couldn't wear masks. And my thing was, some women knew need to wear a mask because
oh, wow. Wow.
That's not my point. That was a joke. Come on, man. You don't know.
Predator. Wow.
My thing was that the worry. Aston, man, let it go before these women lynch you. Let it go, Aston, before they lynch you. Right? My thing was that initially the West was concerned that the East was trying to take over. Right? Okay. And now when the East looks to the West and they see us all making masks, they think they've won. Do you know what I mean?
I'm still stuck on Aston. Sorry, that was wrong.
Oh God! Wait, hold on. Let's get back to Ash. Ash, bring us back to some normality. That was a gag that's going on a bit longer than I expected. Oh, if you're gonna just quote from the Bible, my friend, I'd rather have your words. Yeah, and by the river upon the bank, therefore, I'd rather have your words, to be honest with you, my friend. Yeah. I'd rather have your words. Morning breath is real. Keep on your mask. Morning breath. Jackie, leave me alone.
It's a reality strike home.
Oh my gosh, red flag, wrong program.
Christine is helping out here. She's saying sea moss, magnesium, calcium, zinc, boiled sage.
Okay.
Sage, man, sage.
I mean, these are the things that we were talking about. That when we go back to ourselves, you know, our real selves, is that we'll find that the planet has given us everything that we do need.
Yeah.
See, it's simple, man. Simple.
You know what? I've got to go. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say that with everything that's happened, we are now looking at our priorities and looking at, well, what is it that I need to do that wasn't working for me before? So what wasn't working for me before, I need to get rid of and bring in what's more healthy for my mind and my body and my emotions.
Okay. No, I agree. I'm gonna cut for a second. It seems like you've got to go away, Natasha. Is what I'm picking up on. But before you do go, I believe there's a 24-hour challenge going on that you could tell us about.
Yeah, no, I'm good for time. I was literally just checking up on something because I wanted to go back to what Ash was saying just before. About being a bit more spiritually inclined. So I was just looking up somebody because I'm with no disrespect, this is meant with all good intentions. I don't believe in God per se. I believe in Mother Nature and the universal laws and blah, 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 blah. However, I must say that I've tapped into an old friend of mine. His name is Isaiah Raymond Dyer, who's doing some amazing work on ground level, whereby he's getting council permission to go and put up marquees, and they are just spreading their word, but with a twist. So they are opening up with song, putting a few words of scripture in between, but they're telling real stories how faith, however that is meant for you or me, has changed lives. You know, like crackheads, you know, who have seen seen a different light. So I think I hear what you're saying, Rudi, in regards to, I don't believe in the Bible because I think it's man-made, but I think it is important that we hold on to some type of faith.
If we're going to go there, and I would like us to, explore it. The Bible is man-made. 7 black men wrote it. Constantine.
Hold on. Say that again. Black who?
So black men.
Just in case some people get that mixed up in their head. Tell them again. Tell them.
I mean,
that's why it's so confusing for Uno.
It's only confusing because of the images that Michelangelo and the likes of that period of time was asked to paint.
Yeah.
And we all know it's called whitewashing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
There you
wow.
go. There you go. Now read it again.
I hear you guys, but listen, what I'm saying is you have some people who are at home alone in solitude, who are blessed to have people around them and to have some type of faith, however it is, go for it, man. If it's helping you through, go for it, and I'm not going to preach because, like I said, I don't believe in it all. But I know personally it's helped some people through, that they've grasped onto something and they have hope and faith in something. It's helped a lot of people.
I see no problem in faith. My problem is truth. That seems to be the problem, because it was warfare at the time that caused the whole Bible and everything to be whitewashed. They initially violence was tried. And then once the violence could only go so far, then they needed to take the minds of the people, and then they could only go so far again. Then they went for the spirituality,
control.
It comes back to that word again. No matter how much we've tried to move on from it, we come back to that. And it's just a state of mind, and where certain races are coming from. Because we come from a place of abundance. As a people,
love that.
we come from abundance. We've known nothing else.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the planet, there was people who was coming from scarcity. And that fear of going back to that scarcity is what's created,
imbalance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's turned into greed. I hear you.
Yeah. Grace Campbell is saying, I saw a man the other day. This man looked fine. He took off his mask.
Grace, man.
It's good to have a little laugh in the morning, man.
Yes,
it is.
Absolutely.
Denise Francis is saying, church narcotic right now. Sorry. Well, the thing is that the churches have been losing people not over the past 15 to 20 years, especially if you were in an Anglican church. The numbers have dwindled and dwindled and dwindled and dwindled and dwindled, which is kind of sad, But the thing is, that's it. Religion is dictating and telling people how they should live. Spirituality is telling you just to be one with the universe. So when you go into deep meditation, you're going into spirituality. Seriously, I just wondering, how can I, big 100-year-old man, raise over £3 million for the NHS but still get ill, treated by the same NHS?
30 million.
30 million. Oh, I do apologize.
Yeah, that's the old boy who was running around in his garden.
Is that he's passed away now, isn't he?
Yeah. In past half.
Yeah. And I understand the outpouring and congratulations for everything that he's done. Do you know what I mean? But that's another life that was on its way out. That was another burning light that started to burn bright like a light bulb before it goes blink.
Yeah,
did they give him knighthood?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I know he got something from the Queen, though, isn't it? An OBE or something like that.
I know that he's been exalted.
Honest list. Yeah, it was in the honest list or something.
Honest list.
More than 2,000 people, 200,000 people back campaign to give Captain Tom Moore a state funeral. That's what I'm seeing here.
Okay.
Usually rewarded for monarchs. Only a handful of people outside the royal family have been given a state funeral, including Isaac Newton and Lord Nelson and Winston Churchill. But within a few days of Captain Tom's family announcing his death, thousands have backed a campaign to honour the Second World War veteran with the ceremony. So there's no talk of an actual what is the correct word when you get a medal?
Honorary.
Yeah. There's no talk of anything being honorary given to him. Good morning, Donna. Morning, Donna. Morning. Morning, family. Before the Bible, we had nature.
Yeah.
Preach.
We studied nature. We respected nature. It's just that, again, no money could be made until a name and a book was put on it.
Speak the team.
You know, look how interesting that is.
It's true, though.
I did.
Nature.
And then everybody had their own version when they just get it. They get the knowledge and God did it. So here's my version. Boom.
Yep.
Somebody said that he was knighted by the Queen, Sir Tom Moore.
Okay.
So he has been knighted. Yeah, thanks, David.
So
and Donna.
He's in line for that then, isn't it? He's in line
Trevor.
for one of the state funerals there.
Yeah. So that's been confirmed. So he was knighted.
But are you saying that people are having to raise money for his funeral per se? Is that what's happening?
Well, what I'm seeing is a petition calling for Captain Sir Tom Moore to be honoured with a state funeral. To be honoured with a state funeral.
Okay.
You know, which was just
They never cared about him. He was just a good publicity stunt.
That's what I was going to say, because it's just like boxing. You know, where they're looking at some of the heavyweights now and comparing them with Muhammad Ali because of the amounts of bums on seats that they can get, and you're like, no, all that's happened is that you've widened the viewership. It's not that these are better boxers; they're not better boxers.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that more people can watch it now. It's like back in the day when I used to watch football and I used to watch Stan Bowles on a pitch playing football. Do you know what I mean? And he would leave with just like £100 or whatever in his pocket, and then you see Wayne Rooney leaving with 300,000 every week.
Yeah.
You know, because it was easy to transmit that and make money from it, from the advertising, etc.
Yeah.
Best boxer I know, and I still admire Michael Watson. Straight.
Serious, yeah?
Yeah, man.
I was never into boxing, so.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes, you were. You used to beat up your brother.
Boxing yourself, boxing.
All the time.
Little old me? No.
Yes.
My brother's bigger than me. He's not older than me, but he's bigger than me.
No, listen. Unotalawa woman is the worst. So go ahead.
No, butter wouldn't melt.
I hear that. I hear exactly what you're saying, Denise. He is just a man, you know, and like Tasha said, that was surrounded by marketing people, you know, because they I mean, like we said, we were at that time, we were going through December, you know, we were going through seasonal disorder. And then here comes a story of an older gentleman who wants to do laps, you know what I mean, to raise money. And they know how to pull on the emotions and the heartstrings of you know, people. And so they do it. And once again, for me, that's manipulation.
Yeah, the timing was great. Save the NHS. You know, that was the plug. Save the NHS. We weren't about Sir Tom, rest in peace. Go on, Aston's got another gem coming up. I can feel it.
I know. It's one of these adverts. You know, they got these lotteries, different types of lotteries, right? And I'm in the kitchen and I'm hearing, oh, we've got the kitty lottery. You can win money, and the little kittens, they will pick out your numbers. And I'm like, I want it.
Yeah.
So puss are gonna do them things they know.
Well, just before we
I don't even know if it's still running, but why? They got
before we wrap up,
best
ladies,
up things on TV right now.
just before we wrap up, because we have done the hour now, we're into an hour and 10 minutes. I didn't realize that we'd done an extra 10 minutes, but it just goes to show just how well the conversation was flowing. As I said, Natasha, earlier on, I thought before you was about to go, if you could tell us about this 24-hour
marathon extravaganza. So basically, it's Black Pound Day coming up Saturday, and I'm the founder of Black Wall Street London, and I'm trying not to shine a light on Black Wall Street London. I'm trying to showcase all of the 70 plus businesses, organizations that we support, and that we've been blessed to come into contact with. So I've done a crazy move, and I'm going to do a 24-hour from Friday midnight to Saturday midnight extravaganza, my first live event. And I'm not pulling out any big names, as in we've got such and such on, apart from Rudi.
Thank you.
Because I'm trying to highlight that we are all the same. We don't need these big celebs, so to speak. We are talking about the people who are doing great work on pavement level, who have got amazing businesses, brands, products. So it's about supporting on Black Pound Day with honor to Swiss, who's the originator of Black Pound Day. And I'm just saying that I've got a platform whereby I can put out brand awareness and show all of the public, all of the organizations that have come in support of each other. So our message is collaboration is key to our success. We're going to try and replace the word competition with collaboration, and that united we rise, one love, one people. That's it. Come and have fun. Drop in, guys.
What you haven't told them is how they can get in, how they can be involved.
So basically all you need to do is tune into Black Wall Street social media. So we're going across Twitch, YouTube and Facebook. There's plenty of posts out there, all with the links attached. You can drop in anytime. So we've got exhibitor drop-ins, we've got special guests. Like I said, I'm not name dropping, but we've got some great meat and bones too.
Drop, please.
Really?
No, put it on there.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've just put, special guests, and special guests to me are those people who are using their platforms to spread love and knowledge, like you, Rudi. Again, we've got so many people who've got an amazing platform, but we're not connecting the dots. So in between all of the meat and bones, we've got 70 plus Black-owned businesses that I'm literally trying to showcase and say, hey, we've got choices. We've got choices. If you look on our website, on our virtual market, it's all those people plus other influencers who can come on and mentor people like me, people who I'm learning from. And then the fact is not one man is to be left behind. So we got startups all the way to people who've been in business for decades, and just coming to spread love. It's Black Pound Day, and at the very least, if you've only got £1, please invest in your future and invest it in the Black Million. That's what we're trying to do. Black Wall Street London is buy our own premises so that we've got our own home, our own space, so we can house all of these people and provide affordable and accessible workspace and business trading space. That's all it's about. Showcasing us in our excellence and bringing as many people on board to have a chat, come and have fun. I'm taking lead from you, Rude. We've even got game show giveaways. I love what you're doing there. No, because like you said, it's got to be comedic as well. We can't just be talking about, we're on lockdown.
We do.
Right, exactly.
But then at the same time, she says that's all we're doing. But it's not. That's all we're doing. It takes a tremendous amount of work to stimulate and bring this all together. But also, Astrid, I like the work that you do in the morning. And if you could tell people how they can actually get in touch with you for some mindset meditation, please do.
So every morning, weekday mornings at 7:30 a.m. And on the weekends, 8:30, I run a mindful mindset meditation session. It's only about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too long. It's not too
long. It doesn't have to be long. It's all about you taking time out for yourself just to, just rethink, replan, re-educate yourself, de-stress yourself, and just have a less negative way of thinking about what you do and how you go forward. And that's one of the things I do, because I'm actually also a life coach as well. So I predominantly work with women. Women in
she's
leadership.
Sexist. I always tease that about it. She's sexist. She's sexist, Aston.
But I do have a women in leadership community as well, where I talk about Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I do live sessions where people can come in and talk with Coach Astrid. So I give a subject, and you can come on, you can talk with me, and we'll discuss, various different things to do with leadership, to do with self-care, to do with, whatever. And especially where, us women try to be super women and do everything, and sometimes achieve nothing.
Even when we say come lie down, I want to come lie down. You want to go do everything.
Exactly. We don't have to, It's not compulsory.
And my co-host Aston, man, I know that you're on Galaxy. I'm not au fait with the time, because I keep every time I phone you. I catch him on it.
Sabotage.
I'm in the flow of my talk.
And then
I'm like expressing what, and then go. How this?
And who is it? It's Rudi.
Yeah. What's happening? What's happening? But anyhow, I appreciate that you put the time out to come. So I'm on Galaxy Radio. I do a show on Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Right, which includes self-analysis in the mornings, and also we're going through a series of the 42 laws of my heart. Right, to see how they can relate to us as we are living in our society right now. We do a midday meditation, which is from 12 to 1, right? Which is a self-analysis, a self check-in for an hour, and then we do ancestral voices, which we pick somebody who has passed or of influence in our communities, global. It could be anywhere in the world, literally, and we get some words of wisdom from them as well in that way, And then we reach out to Jamaica, where I talk with my brother to get some news what's happening in the Caribbean as well. So that's
interesting.
So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, my panel is very busy. Thank you for tuning into the Friday. Well, I'm going to just call it Friday Rants from now, and I'm actually going to change the name to Friday Rants, just as you can see above Astrid's head there, which will allow the conversation to move in whatever direction. in whatever direction it chooses to go. It was after having a conversation with one of the Rants and Bants members. That's Denise Francis. Please do tune into 15 Minutes with DJ Countryman and Rudi Lickwood tomorrow. We will be talking to Moses Adeyemi and Flick. He's got a company called Flick First. Okay.
Everything.
Yeah, it's all happening. So tune in, watch the promos, and thank you very much, my panel, for joining me this morning. I should slap all of you lot, because we've really run over time. We've really run over time. But hey, we're out of here.
15 Minutes with DJ Countryman and Rudi Lickwood, Saturday morning mayhem with two entertainment heavyweights. Join them with interviews, comedy and quizzes.
Child support money for you or something.
No chance of that, Babs.
No chance.
darling.
Hey everyone.
Hey, Alex.
So I can start.
My internet's awful.
Just like these, travel over London and see my people shall free. We got to be free.
Hello.
Just like these,
Hello.
travel over London
Hello.
and see.
Goodbye.
DJ
Goodbye.
God, you gone. You gone. He's gone, man.
15 minutes with Rudi Lickwood and DJ Countryman. Saturday mornings, gonna be the same again.
What are you putting me on this time of morning? You're going to scare everybody.
It was a cassette. You know when you had to push the pencil in between into the hole? Yes, man. And spin it.
I feel like when you are speaking up for yourself, it should be unapologetic and it should be honest. I think that we all.
So, for example, the West Indian community, there are many reasons why they may not, and you can probably tell me more than I know. But I think part of it is that they're being asked to trust the same structures that have also contributed to their discrimination, their abuse, their trauma, and their marginalisation over the years. And
this is acceptable. You can't dress like this in a Muslim society. So then who's got more respect for women? The West or the East?
But in Ubuntu, we have programs that kind of look at identity, raising self-esteem, looking at our history, looking at going not only...
Often when you watch the news and stuff, everyone's talking about race. And I'm just thinking, well, there's more than that. I know just having no dad and having to work out what it means to be a black man in the UK was a very, very difficult job.
You're on your second coffee and fact. Oh my God, listen, girl. I haven't even had a coffee. The thing is, if it wasn't for my daughter, I sent her a long text last night. But if it wasn't for my daughter, I think I would have still been asleep. If she's saying hi, that means that 8:15 has gone.